This is a PowerPoint from iCivics.org, and I'm going to voice it over so that you can follow along with your note sheet. And it seems like you guys are doing really awesome on these flipped videos, so here we go. Where does the federal budget come from? First, let's review a key concept. What is a budget? When you think of budget, what comes to mind? Could it be a type of plan for printing money, something the government uses to measure things, a plan for receiving and spending money, or a pet bird? You are right. C. A plan for receiving and spending money. So, what is the government's budget? The federal budget is a type of plan for printing money, the U.S. government's plan for managing revenue and spending, or the president's plan to save a lot of money, or a really big pet bird. B. You're right. It's the government's plan for managing revenue and spending. Now that you know what the federal budget is, you will learn about how it's created. The goal is for this person and these people to work together to create a federal budget for the country. You have a guide sheet that you're going to be filling out as you go through these notes. Hopefully you have that by now. Otherwise, get it and rewind. The first thing you should know is that it takes over a year for the budget to be created. The president and his team of the Office of Management and Budget work to develop a proposal for the budget. This budget proposal is due the first Monday in February, and it includes the following things: spending priorities, plans for raising revenues through taxes, lots of documents supporting each item. And this is what you're going to be filling out, your little chart. Step 1, the president's proposals. Step 2 are the budget resolutions. The House of Representatives comes up with this plan for the budget. The Senate comes up with its plan for the budget. In order to develop their plans, they take several things into consideration: the president's budget outline, the previous year's budget, new programs or projects that the government agencies want to start. Step 2 of the budget resolutions, they're going to include lots of details and tables like this. The plans are called resolutions. It's a document that lays out a rough budget. It's a plan for Congress as they work to create an official budget. Fill in step 2, House and Senate budget resolutions. Quick review. A budget resolution is a plan the president must sign into law, a plan written by Congress that sets guidelines for the budget, when two people come together to get over their financial differences, or the stuff you spray on stains on your carpet, right? I know you got this one right. B. Once budget resolutions are made, it's time for the House and the Senate to come together to create a budget. Step 3, it's a conference committee. And I know you remember a lot of this from your government class. We have selected representatives from the House and selected senators from the Senate who come together in a conference committee. The conference committee brings the House and Senate members together to resolve differences between the two houses of Congress. The goal of the conference committee is to approve one final budget resolution that combines the House and Senate's budget resolutions, called the joint budget resolution. Fill in your chart now. Step 3, conference committees to approve budget resolutions. Once the conference committee has created a joint budget resolution, the House and Senate have to tackle the massive project of creating a budget. This job is made a little easier by dividing spending into specific projects into categories, like we do with our own personal budgets. There are 12 different categories: energy, State Department, transportation and foreign and urban development, financial services, interior and environment, veterans affairs, commerce, agriculture, legislative branch, homeland security, labor, and health and human services, defense. Each of these categories is given to an appropriations committee to pass an appropriations bill. Appropriations are money that's set aside for a specific purpose. For example, the Appropriations Subcommittee on Defense would decide to set aside a $6.5 billion researching and building set aside $6.5 billion for researching and building a new type of fighter jet. That is an appropriation. Step 4. The House and Senate both split into these 12 smaller committees. Each committee develops a plan for spending money on smaller, specific projects in each category. House votes, Senate votes. Step 4, appropriations committees. Step 5, work together. Each appropriations subcommittee from the House meets with the matching appropriations subcommittee from the Senate. And they work together, comparing their appropriations bills, making compromises until each subcommittee has one final version. Committees working together and compromising. Quick review: an appropriations bill is something that balances out mandatory and discretionary spending, a bill that manages money spent in the Army, a bill that lays out how money will be spent on specific projects, an equation for solving problems. I know you got that one right too. Congress votes. Each committee returns to its House of Congress and presents its appropriations bill. The House votes, the Senate votes. Then it goes to the President. When approved by both Houses of Congress, the bills head to the President. Finally, it's my turn again. The President gets to decide if he will sign the appropriations bill or veto them. If he signs them, they become part of the final budget, and all this has to happen by October 1st. Phew! And there you go. The budget in action, the new federal budget, goes into effect October 1st. Government agencies like the DoD, Department of Defense, or the Department of Energy can only spend the money that has been appropriated for them by the final bills that were signed by the President. Now let's review some key concepts. Put these 6 steps in order. They're not in order. So appropriations committees work together, budget resolutions, President's proposal to the President, conference committee to approve resolutions, and appropriations committees. The first one is, the second one is, the third one is, the fourth one is, fifth one is, last. Here they are in order. Great job. Now I have a bonus question. The federal budget is created between what 2 days? Yeah.